Matiang'i ignores DCI summon over his home raid. President Ruto launches Taifa Gas LPG terminal in Mombasa. Did Odinga really resign? Speculation surrounding Odinga's resignation gains momentum. And CS Juma says government is keen on improving mental health. Sign language interpreter tonight. I am Mbinda Masi. Welcome to the broadcast. Former Interior Cabinet Secretary Dr. Fred Matiang'i has today declined to honor the summon from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations requiring him to report to DCI officers today morning for questioning of an alleged raid at his Nairobi home. Matiang'i's lawyer Danstan Omari, while addressing journalists outside Milimani Law Courts, today blasted the DCI, saying that they should follow provisions of the law when issuing such summons. Omari further added that his client was ready and willing to report to the DCI officers on conditions that the law is followed. President William Ruto has launched the construction of the Taifa Gas LPG terminal in Ndongo Kundu Economic Zone in Mombasa today, a project that aims to lower the cost of cooking gas in Kenya. The facility will be one of Kenya's largest private sector investments in the recent past and among the first multinationals that have been allowed to set up a base at the 3,000-acre in Ndongo Kundu Special Economic Zone.
Petroleum gas terminal in the country is one that will enhance the government's quest in promoting the use of clean energy. According to President William Ruto, while commissioning the 16 billion Kenya shillings gas in Mombasa County, the LPG will cut down the greenhouse gas emissions to help in mitigation of climate change.
The launch of Taifa Gas project is a historic milestone on our journey to achieving self-sufficiency in clean, green energy, which is a critical component of our commitment to deliver rapid socio-economic transformation through clean green growth. Our electric power grid is 92% green, and we are committed to turning it into 100% green by 2030.
The project that is aimed at lowering the cost of cooking gas in Kenya will also see an increase in capacity from 30,000 tons to 45,000 tons of LPG gas. President Ruto also issued a directive that the Ministry of Treasury to remove all taxes on liquefied petroleum gas.
I have also approved, to my good friend, that instead of 30,000 metric ton storage facility, I have agreed that he makes it 45,000 metric ton facility, so that we can increase storage of gas as we enhance our gas use in the country.
The head of state stated that the Kenya Kwanza government is working on an ambitious program to ensure that local cooking gas is made affordable for every Kenyan, further ordering that government institutions, including boarding schools, to transit from biomass to liquefied petroleum gas.
Public institutions that currently utilize biomass as their primary cooking fuel will be required to transition to LPG. In particular, public institutions must ensure that this transition is completed by 2025.
Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, on the other hand, said the LPG initiative fits perfectly in the bottom-up plan that seeks to improve the lives and the dignity of most Kenyans through safer and healthier cooking options.
Mradi, Your Excellency, ukikamilika na miradi zingine, tupate kila boma katika hapa pwani na nchi ya Kenya, kila mama ako na mtungi wake wa gasi ya kupikia, tutaregeza heshima ya watu wetu.
Taifa Gas is Tanzania's largest LPG supply company and has been feeding the Kenyan retail market via road. The company also supplies gas to Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi and South Africa. Anodida, KUTV, Nairobi.
Public Service, Gender and Affirmative Action Cabinet Secretary Asha Jumwa has said that the government is taking proactive measures to address the current mental health situation in the public service. The CS was speaking today during the launch of Public Service Mental Health Champions initiatives in ministries, departments, agencies and counties held at the Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi.
Speaking during the launch, Jumwa cited the developing and rolling out of essentials for counseling in public service program, making adjustments on how mental health services are provided to needy public servants, setting up of a public counseling helpline service, and embracing of telecounseling or teletherapy as some of the interventions her ministry has undertaken to address the mental health challenges.
So I think I made it deliberately to the cabinet for cabinet endorsement that we must have a budget, the 2023-2024 budget, that will be a mental health responsive budget.
The Cabinet Secretary has also commended 410 mental health champions drawn from ministries, departments, agencies and counties who were trained by the government to promote and support officers in their workstations and the society facing mental health challenges for doing a commendable job in their workstations.
As mental health champions, you will be expected to spearhead preventive and promotive mental health psychosocial programs. In addition, your activities will aim at destigmatizing mental health.
Jumwa has then singled out the high level of stigma and discrimination as the main challenge in the management of mental health. She says that there is need to implement workplace wellness programs that are evidence-based in the public service.
The main challenge in the management of mental is the high level of stigma and discrimination that prevent people from coming out to seek psychological counseling and medication.
The CS has urged all champions and counsellors to promote the mental health wellness of public servants in their stations so as to achieve the quality of life of public servants and improve their work productivity. Dennis Omondi reporting for KUTV.
The University Fund has proposed allocation of funds to various institutions of higher learning based on performance as opposed to the current criteria which focuses on the enrollment per institution. The performance-based criteria proposes, among others, consideration of the degree employability within a year of graduation.
As the proposed university recommendation continue to elicit mixed reactions, some universities may now have to find alternative funding means if the recommendation by the University Fund are adopted. The fund has recommended for the funding criteria to be changed to a performance-based criteria as opposed to the current one focusing on enrollment. The competency-based criteria will consider, among others, the university degree employability rate, the university's completion rate, as the volume of the research output from the university. This comes at a time when universities have been struggling financially, with public universities having accumulated a debt of more than 56 billion shillings. These debts are owed to statutory bodies. There already exists a proposal that the government should write off the loans accumulated by the institutions. According to Education Cabinet Secretary Ezekiel Machogu, the Ministry of Education recognizes the fact that financially, the institutions are not doing well and that action needs to be taken to stop the looming collapse of the institutions. James Mureki Mwenda, KUTV.
The government has sourced local funding to the tune of 250 billion shillings to boost trade and industrial growth. This is according to Trade and Industrialization Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria. While addressing governors in a benchmarking tour of Tatu City in Ruiru, Kiambu County, the Cabinet Secretary said that county governments should embrace export of fresh produce.
Trade and Industrialization Cabinet Secretary Moses Kuria has called on the counties to embrace export of fresh produce and value addition initiative to enable Kenyan farmers and traders to reap better profit.
What has been messing up most of our development programs is multiplicity of initiatives. If you can be able to say every other initiative we are doing, and this is the same message I'm passing to all our development partners, instead of you going out there and starting another new initiative, let us all pool our resources, let us create one kitty.
According to Trade and Industrialization CS, the government has sourced a local funding to the tune of 250 billion shillings meant to boost trade and industrialization growth in the country. The money, which will be availed through Equity Bank, is expected to spur industrial growth in the counties through introduction of industrial and aggregation parks.
Yesterday we agreed with Dr. James Mwangi, and they are announcing today a facility of 250 billion shillings to give to the entrepreneurs who will be, I think that's massive. So, as I always say, it is enough for your entrepreneurs just to have that entrepreneurial spirit. Somebody else needs to come with the other support.
Governors are expected to hit the ground running in terms of looking for land and setting up the right infrastructure to attract investment.
From what I have learned from the Tatu team, it takes a lot of work of roadshows, investment roadshows, persuading people to come and spend 4 billion, 10 billion of their money in your area.
The government is still in the process of conducting a national feasibility study to identify commodities that add value to specific areas in order to reduce local competition. Auma Evans for KUTV, Nairobi.
Green Education Hub, an association that is registered under Kenyatta University, today marked its end-of-month event that normally happens on the last Friday of every month to create awareness about environment and climatic changes. Today, the topic under discussion was the role of media in information dissemination about climate change and environment. Mutunga.
Representatives from different organizations joined together with Green Education Hub Association in an awareness conference held in Kenyatta University to discuss the role of media and its contributions towards environment and climatic changes in the African continent. Dr. Jacqueline Nyerere expounded on the role of the association. He said their main objective is informing people about changes in the climatic conditions.
So Green Education Hub is essentially a product of a project on transforming universities for a changing climate, and it seeks to give students a platform to be able to take climate action, and this is through research, through community service, but also through greening activities at the campus level.
The invited media personnel Mercy Imbinda at the event talked about different media platforms that people can use to create awareness on environmental and climatic changes, particularly pointing out the use of internet as the current source of influence to people, especially youths.
Platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok can allow us to reach vast numbers of people quickly and easily. And they offer a range of different ways to communicate to our message to the people. So we can use social media to share news articles, videos, photos related to the environment.
Communications and Marketing Manager of Nature Kenya Association Kwamboka Angela Mecha confirmed that communication medium depends on the target audience, figuring out newspapers and magazines which are mostly read by old people. In addition, Mecha said planting of trees will greatly contribute towards changing the current state of drought.
And with the drought that is pending, my take would be there needs to be long-term kind of solutions that are put in place that are going to help us so that we don't have this kind of situation every year. Part of what is leading to this drought currently is the level at which we've degraded our environment. And trees are a key way of us attracting rainfall, making sure that we are not having such diverse effects from the climate in terms of levels of drought. And planting trees would be one way to go about it. So,
Professor Palegibozi, a lecturer in University of Antananarivo, Madagascar, also said there is a need for different associations to partner towards finding solutions of the drought being experienced in the Greater Horn of Africa.
And I want to highlight the need of partnerships, networking activities between different sectors and different dimensions of society. We need to break silos in society. We need to break silos in scientific disciplines, silos even many times within the academic programs, in order to partner, in order to impact together on the ground.
As the Horn of Africa continues to face drought and famine these days, Kenyatta University organization by the name Green Education Hub is in its run to create awareness to all citizens about the change in climate and environment. Mutunga Joseph, KUTV.
Thank you, Mutunga Joseph, for that report. Now, we're taking our first short break right here at the KTV Prime Time News. We'll be back with an interview with one activist and activist championing for climate justice, one by the name Jesse David. A conversation you don't want to miss out. Keep your comments coming at KUTV_Kenya, at Masi Imbinda. The hashtag is KUTV Primetime News. Keep watching.
What's up, fashionistas? Looking for a show that brings you the latest in the world of fashion, glamour, creativity, and style? Fashion Diaries got you sorted as we explore street fashion, modeling, runways, red carpet events, and so much more.
Catch me, Ashley Asachi, as we unlock the greatest fashion events. Keep it locked.
We don't have time.
And we don't have time.
Yeah, we don't have time for business as usual.
Because we don't have time, it's the largest global platform sensitizing the issues to do with climate change.
And we'll be coming back in another few months to see how our trees are doing. So please, miti tumeacha, mtusaidie kuplant na mtusaidie kuchunga. Asante.
Thank you. So climate change is not about tree planting. It's all about life. It's all about how can you make something sustainable? How can you make something breathe?
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Revenge was his mission.
Subhanaka Allahumma Rabbana wa bihamdika.
Tough choices was what she was left with. The battle between the two puts the whole city in danger.
Lulu Maua.
Nothing changed. I will do it myself.
I've seen
the injustices and the prejudices that the blind face in this our world.
I can't do it.
Jenny! Kafir!
Welcome to Children's Corner. Welcome to
Children's Corner.
Children's
Corner.
Badala ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili
bila uoga. Watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi, hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
I'm a freshman in Kenyatta University. This is all what I've heard about campus. Campus is full of freedom.
Ni cumulative.
Mchezo hiyo ili poka gani kwani? I'm a fourth year student and I mostly hang out at shopping center. I'm an arboretum. And what I'd tell first years is it's never too late to start being serious.
Kipindi hewani ni mitindo ya kipwani. Kama ilivyo kipindi hiki kinahusu nyimbo za tarab, chakacha, midwara, midundiko, bila kusahau mapishi. Ambao ndio uti wa mgongo wa pwani ya Afrika Mashariki.
Jamani swahibu zangu mliopo maskani, hatuonani wenzangu, najua mwanitamani.
Hapa KUTV, nahodha mwendesha chombo cha baharini, yani ua linalunukia na kuvutia waridi tamu.
change. I met one such group who decided to protest through song.
I see, hope you can see. I see, why can't you see? I see, hope you can see. Time is changing. So what do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now, now. So what do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now, now. So what do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it?
So that's the Youth Demand Quick Justice here with their protest song at COP27. Now, still to come on Focus on Africa, we are at a park in...
Welcome back. Now, there has been a shift in temperatures and weather patterns. We have witnessed more frequent and intense drought, storms, heat waves in the west, rising sea levels causing tsunamis, melting glaciers, and warming oceans. All this are as a result of climate change. Unfortunately, the people who suffer the most from climate change are ones who did very little in causing it. And this is where climate justice comes in. Climate justice is a concept that addresses the just division, fair sharing, and equitable distribution of the burdens of climate change and its mitigation and responsibilities to deal with climate change. Advocacies, protests, and conferences have been held to deliberate on climate justice, including a young man by the name Jesse David, whose protest by the use of a song was captured by BBC News. Take a look.
Climate change. I met one such group who decided to protest through song.
I see, hope you can see. I see, why can't you see? I see, hope you can see. Time is changing. So what do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now, now. So what do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it? Now, now. So what do we want? Climate justice. When do we want it?
So that's the Youth Demand Quick Justice here with their protest song at COP27. Now, still to come on Focus on Africa, we are at a park in...
And tonight, Jesse David joins me in studio to discuss the use of media in championing for climate justice. Welcome, Jesse, to our studios.
Thank you, Mercy. Thank you, Mhonen.
Now, before we delve deep, help us understand the state of our environment and why it is a cause for alarm.
Being an African and also coming from Kenya, we have witnessed drought that has never been witnessed before in history. Last year alone, looking at places like Kajiado, looking at right now even in Turkana, people are dying, people who are depending on cattle, people are depending on this type of lifestyle. It's their way of life and they cannot do anything about it. And these are the alarming things that are happening. And not only in Africa, we have seen the heat waves, in the global north too. So right now they know that climate change is not something that's affecting the global south alone. Yeah.
So maybe what role do we have to play, or have we played in making our environment look as it is looking right now?
Looking at also the exploration of fossil fuel, we know the amount that it contributes to the GHG gas emissions that are responsible for climate change. So these are the things that I believe right now when you talk about just energy transition, these are the solutions that will enable our continent and the world to go to a safe place, not even better, a safe place to begin with, yeah.
Right, and just so when we are talking about the adverse effects of climate change, one may think that it is somewhere so far away. So what are some of the indicators of climate change that are right in front of our faces? Help us see what you're seeing. Hope we can see that.
So there are simple things, coming from different communities. Sometimes there are people who have talked about their research about a river that was there at a certain point, at a certain season, and right now it's a dry river. These are the things and indicators that climate change is real. Looking at even birds migration, there are species of birds that are extinct, and it's because of climate change. There are things that we cannot ignore, and it's affecting the human race.
Right. And what is the role of now different types of media in delivering climate justice?
The media, looking at the age that you are in right now, we are undergoing a paradigm shift where information is taking the lead. So when it comes to advocacy, when we tap into using the media to disseminate this information, it's very important. We have writing of journals, we have articles, we have, when it comes to the Twitter spaces, we have podcasts. These are spaces that are very important. Right now, there is research has shown that averagely around 8 hours a day a teenager is using their phone. Meaning, if we want to take this information to them, we have to take it to a place, to somewhere they are, and this is through the media.
Right. So maybe someone is listening to this or watching this and wondering, how can I be involved? How can they get involved?
The first thing, to take action is to understand that our lives are purposeful, and when you attach what you're meant to do to something bigger than you, you're impacting the world. Like right now, what you're doing, Mercy. It's very important because you're using your gift in this field of journalism to impact people. If you're a painter, you can create advocacy through that. If you're a writer, if you're a dancer, looking for that passion of yours and trying to power it to bring change. I believe that is the most important thing. It does not mean all of us, we have to be in a certain way. Use the gift you have to power change.
And talking about giftings, Jesse, we just watched a video of you leading a protest at COP27. Maybe you can talk about us.
So last year, I happened to have gotten an opportunity to attend the Nairobi Summer School on Climate Justice. That is the 2nd edition. And being there, learning from experts in the climate field, I realized that you can use anything that you have. You can use any gift you have to make sure that people know what's happening. And that is where they gave me an opportunity to perform there. And after that, the song was adapted to be used in the campaign, the Climate Justice Torch campaign.
Wow. That
went all the way from Libreville, Gabon, and all the way to COP27 to make sure that the voices of the youths is amplified and the people who are in the front line of climate crisis.
Amazing. What are you doing as Jesse to help spread the word out there concerning climate justice?
What I'm doing is using the gift of music. Music is a universal language, and we all know that. It does not matter how many of you out there listen to music that you don't understand the language, right? But you can feel it's communicating to you.
Right.
So I believe that's the most important tool, and I use music to drive that change.
Wow. Yeah. And because you're using music, and I can see you have your guitar with you, I don't know whether you can give us a song we get to listen to it, to get a feel of it.
Hope you can see. Let me give you something on it.
All right.
Yeah. I see the horizon bloody, the sun is frowning, the moon is dim at night. I see the wind is angry, tears from the ocean, and mountains are shaking in pain. I see, hope you can see. I see, why can't you see? I see, hope you can see. The climate's changing. I see, hope you can see. I see, why can't you see? I see, hope you can see. The climate's changing. River running dry, no rains in the sky. My people always cry, it can't farm in the dry lands, 'cause there is food insecurity, battle with anxiety. What's the remedy? Gender inequality, wars of the century. What's the remedy?
Energy crisis, poverty in our streets. What's the remedy? I see, hope you can see. I see, why can't you see? I see, hope you can see. The climate's changing. And now, what do we want? What do we want? Climate justice. And when do we want it? Now, now. What do we want? Climate justice. And when do we want it?
Now, now. Now, I don't know whether you had not asked me whether you wanted a BGV. Maybe you can do the last bits of what do we want?
Yeah, we can do it.
As a party shot.
We can do it. So let's go together with Marcy.
Mm-hmm.
We can create an amazing team over here.
Right, the BGV.
Yeah. So what do we want? Climate justice. And when do we want it? Now, now. So what do we want? Climate justice. And when do we want it? Now,
now.
What do we want?
Climate justice.
And when do we want it?
Now, now.
We should go to the studio with you. We should record this with you.
Thank you so much, Jose David. That has been an interesting conversation around climate justice, climate change. I don't know what you are doing about it, and you have been able to see that you can begin right where you are, because climate change advocacy begins with you and with me. You have a phone, you have a gift, you can dance, you can sing, you can do a film, you can do a post. Do it on TikTok, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, anywhere that you can, and get the word right there. Now, we're taking a short break. We'll be back with more news, but you keep your feedback and comments coming concerning this interview on our social media handles at KTV_Kenya, at Marcy Imbinda. Now, I am being told there's a request for you to play the guitar as we take our short break. Thank you so much for coming to our studios tonight.
Thank you. I see, hope you can see. I see, why can't you see? I see, hope you can see. The climate's changing. I see, hope you can see. I see, why.
You need to look for high quality friends.
I'm from Kingston, Jamaica, you know Portmore. That's my village.
Kanga tu chini hapo ukinyepia ukikatia mademo akipita.
Naweza sasa hii nimekuja kukopesa job.
Tutakuwa tunaangazia utamaduni wa nyimbo za harusi. Yani harusi za zamani zilikuwa zinafanywa vipi? Kuna nyimbo ambazo ni speciali kabisa, ambazo zimetengwa, ambazo ni za sherehe za harusi.
Sana sana hucheza hizi ngoma wakati wa kama kuna msichana anataka kuolewa, ama kuna mtoto amezaliwa anatolewa nje, ama kuna mtu anataka kuolewa lakini ametolewa mahari. Inani be ukare vizonge na anazana kikombe.
Welcome to Children's Corner. Welcome to
Children's Corner.
Children's
Corner.
Oh my goodness.
Msukosuko wa uchumi duniani pamoja na mlipuko wa janga la korona uliathiri sana kilimo katika taifa la Kenya na kote duniani.
Wakati COVID iliingia, ilitumiza sana ki market ya maziwa.
Welcome back. America's First Lady Jill Biden has a few hours ago landed at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport for a 3-day tour in the country. She was welcomed by Kenya's First Lady Rachel Ruto. During her tour, she is expected to focus on women's economic empowerment projects and will also visit the Joyful Women's Program, JOYWA, and will learn about the Table banking system. The visit is also expected to enhance relations between Kenya and America. This is her first visit as the First Lady and the 6th to the continent. Despite being a normal biological process, menstruation has always been shameful for some girls. As a strategy to end period shame, USAID and other menstrual health champion groups are calling on the counties in the Lake region to commit budgetary allocation for menstrual hygiene promotion. They have also urged behavioral changes within local communities by abolishing backward cultural beliefs on the matter. Take a look.
Menstruation is a healthy process that has turned painful and shameful for many girls in the country owing to the embarrassment associated with it, especially within communities where it remains a taboo topic, hence very limited awareness. Period shame has hounded several girls out of school.
We have not been paying attention, and yet some of our girl child and even our mothers and sisters have been suffering discrimination and stigmatization of a biological process. So we are just looking at how we can build awareness from various stakeholders, from policymakers, service providers that are involved, and even the medical fraternity, and even the gender themselves.
Paul Otuma is the governor of Busia County and Lake Region Economic Bloc Health Ambassador. He says that they have partnered with USAID and other non-governmental organizations to lead awareness creations such as this one in Migori County.
They have been getting sanitary pads that are disposable. Some of them may not be able to afford that. So we are looking at also those business entities that can come up with innovative ways to provide alternatives like the reusable sanitary pads that may be cost effective and easy to use, especially also for girls in schools.
Magdalene Mwajuma of the Msichana Empowerment NGO opines that there are several factors contributing to period shame among girls of the school-going age, including costly sanitary towels.
We are looking forward to ensuring that girls do have access to quality menstrual product, and also we want the budgetary allocation to make sure that these products are affordable.
Governor Paul Otuoma's admission that up to 65% of women and girls nationwide cannot access sanitary towels appears to have given impetus to calls by the NGOs to have devolved governments allocate funds for menstrual hygiene drives.
So currently I'm asking the governor if it is possible for him to allocate the entire budget of the county, about 10%, the 10% to be allocated for health.
To hasten the menstrual hygiene management program, USAID has partnered with the private sector, civil society, county governments, and the local communities. The national government has also been urged to provide tax-free and affordable sanitary towels in order to be accessible to every female in the country.
To the government is to ensure that we have access to quality, tax-free pads or menstrual hygiene products for all girls across the country. Even the sensitization of male champions in school will go a long way in ending the period shame, in ending the period stigmatization among girls, and as well as eradicating period poverty in our homes.
There is hope that the Western Kenya Sanitation Project will stimulate relevant stakeholders to address challenges of menstrual hygiene. Anodida, KUTV.
The county governor of Embu, Cecily Mbarire, has promised to complete school project initiated by predecessor Martin Wambora. However, Cecily said that only those projects that are of public interest and have value for money will be completed. Joy Wangu has the details.
On behalf of the governor, Cecily Mbarire of Embu County, during a public participation forum on the county fiscal strategy paper, County Executive Committee member of Lands, Mining, Housing and Physical Planning and Urban Development, Raymond Kenywa, said that the focus is to improve on people's livelihood and they are working towards it. Additionally, Kenywa said that they are in the process of evaluating and analyzing all the inherited projects from the former regime, bearing in mind the value for money and why the projects had stalled.
So basically we are here to listen to priority areas because the basket is not a bottomless pit. It cannot be adequate for all the projects.
Saila Mwaneki, a local leader in Mwea, praised the county for holding such a forum, noting it was the first of its kind in the county, where locals from all the sub-counties and wards found within the county were involved. He called on Governor Mbarire to honor the implementation and timelines for the prioritized projects set by the residents of Embu.
Wasinje tu tunaenda next year na tunakuwa kazi yetu ni kufanya carry forward. Na nina hakika with the new administration they will change the attitude of loading the project.
Pia tumeongea mambo ya mashure where the church is a major sponsor in terms of schools. Tumeongea mambo ya madarasa na mambo ya upgrading. Pia the kanisa is a key stakeholder in mambo ya youth. Sababu wana youth wakikaa huku bila kazi, pia sisi watu wa kanisa tuko na shinda.
On the other hand, Reverend Isaiah Njagi emphasized on the need for health institutions to be improved, as well as the county government to unite with the church to raise a godly nation. Joy Maina, KOTV, Nairobi.
The Cereal Growers Association has linked 50 farmers from Kakamega County to sell their finger millet they produce to Unilever Company. According to the association's coordinator, other maize farmers who joined the association have been linked to other markets through the World Food Program.
The Cereal Growers Association in Kakamega County are promoting conservation agriculture by moving farmers from disking their land to start reaping. According to Brian Etemes, the CGA coordinator, through the Farm to Market Alliance, the association is bringing together players in the private and public sectors together to support farmers who produce cereals, especially maize, sorghum, soybeans and finger millets across Kakamega County.
So currently under Cereal Growers Association, we are implementing a project or a program known as Farm to Market Alliance. Under Farm to Market Alliance, we are bringing together both private sector and public sector organizations to ensure that all these players are able to get to the farmers. And it's our humble wish that we work with all the farmers because we have been able to get access to different markets for maize, for finger millet, and also for soybean.
The chairperson of Kenya National Farmers Federation Kakamega, Abaku Kamala, on his part has urged the county government of Kakamega to employ more extension officers to train farmers on how to navigate the vagaries of weather necessitated by climate change.
Wakati huu na Kakamega County hatuna maofisa wa kutosha wa kilimo. Tungependa tuulize mheshimiwa governor aweze kutusaidia kuandika maofisa wengine wengi ili waweze kupeana information na wafundishe pia wakulima kuhusu mabadiliko ya hali ya anga.
Governor Fernandez Barasa said the county has allocated 10 billion to the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperatives through the County Integrated Development Plan of 2023 to 2027 to undertake various projects aimed at improving economic well-being and livelihoods of Kakamega residents through farming. In the current financial year 2022 to 2023, the county government has allocated 713 million shillings on farm inputs for procurement of 120,000 bags of planting and top dressing fertilizer and 130,002 packets of certified maize seeds. Utunga Joseph, KUTV.
Let's get sporty. Kariobangi Sharks put 2 past struggling Sofapaka in the Kenya Premier League match at Kasarani Annex. Sigmund Minor put Sharks ahead after only 48 minutes of playing time before Shikanda added the second goal 27 minutes later to make it a 2-0 at full time to bag all 3 maximum points. Following their 2-0 win against Sofapaka, Kariobangi Sharks now sit 11th on the log with 20 points out of 16 games played so far.
Kuzuia vyema kwa maana mechi zile tumecheza zote tumekuwa tukifunga lakini hatuzuii.
Sasa labda leo kuzuia haswa kipindi cha kwanza kwenda mapumzikoni tukiwa labda 0-0 na kupata mabao mawili haswa kipindi cha pili imesaidia zaidi.
Manchester United recorded a 2-1 win against Barcelona in the Europa League playoff second leg at Old Trafford to book a slot in the last 16 tie. Manchester United went behind in the first half courtesy of Roberto Lewandowski goal, but goals from Brazilians Fred and Anthony led Manchester United past Barcelona at Old Trafford to reach the last 16 of the Europa League. In other matches played in the Europa League, Angel Di Maria netted a hat-trick to give Juventus a comfortable win at Nantes and